Welcome back to episode 2 of Cowls, Spooks and Spectres. Last time I introduced Mr Thorley of Thorley's thrilling theatre tour. Unbelievably and excitingly, I, along with Derek, was witness to some strange goings-on in the auditorium. Mr Thorley, obviously very spooked, seemed willing to unburden and share with me his tale. On further investigation, as that's my job, I uncovered the incredibly mysterious headlines from 70 years ago. Let's bring back Mr Thorley and find out a little more of the mystery and mayhem that took place just before Jack's last lullaby.
So, Mr Thorley, now that we've loosened up a little, why don't you tell us some more about your mysterious appendix and who you think might be playing it?
Yes, Mr Thorley, we're all ears. Pour us a bit more sherry, our Cal.
Well, good people. I suppose I owe you an explanation. It's about time I got this off my chest. Now then, let me take you back to year 1949. It all started when the Thorley Plaza, as part of their Anyone Can Do It season...
Oh, Mr Thorley, anyone can do it. That's my motto.
I thought it was anyone will do it.
Indeed. The theatre was going through a problematic financial phase and needed many repairs. And so a cheap, or even better, free production were suggested by the proprietor of the theatre, an interesting woman the name of Agnes Newbold, who, despite inheriting the venue, had not particularly warmed to theatre life, or indeed particularly warmed to thespians and their craft on the whole, and was of the opinion...
Anyone can do it.
Precisely.
So, Mr Thorley, did you buy the theatre from Miss Newbold?
No, lad. I inherited it. Agnes Newbold was me wife's granny.
And she left it to you? So when did you take it over, Mr Thorley?
Stop asking so many intruder questions, our Cal.
I'm an investigative journalist, Nan. I need to ask intrusive and probing questions.
I thought you were a paper boy. You paid to deliver him, not writing him. Now then, although I myself have appeared in a few papers in my time, Mr Thorley, I must show you my cuttings one day.
My journalistic instincts kicked in at this moment, and I realised Mr Thorley was ready to open up even more about the obviously emotional goings-on. I poured him another glass of his fine sherry and offered him my sympathetic and caring gaze.
It were an exceedingly long time ago, and, a somewhat painful memory, so the details may be a little sketchy.
My reassuring and total caring attitude at this crucial time in the interview, and the fact that Nan and Deirdre were now snoring, it enabled him to carry on freely with his sorry tale.
Now, listen up, young man. Let me give you a little more of background. At Agnes's request, St Catherine's Players, an eclectic bunch of characters from nearby Didsbury, had been invited to perform at the Plaza, their inaugural production of the pantomime Jack and the Beanstalk. Tensions were running high. The rehearsals were getting into full swing. And that, me young friend, is where it all began to go dreadfully wrong.
OK, everyone, may I have your attention, please?
Dolores, look who it is.
Oh, it's Kurt.
Tally-ho, troops. Awfully sorry, Dolores old bean. Had a few commitments, so couldn't make the read-through. But which part do you want me to do? One's hoping it's not the selfless hero who rescues the leading lady and lives happily ever after.
Yes, Mr. Albright, we were hoping that too.
Jackson, hush your mouth.
No, it's fine, Sissy. I must say it's getting rather boring being the star of the show every year. I'm sure there must be someone else who can act, sing and dance as well as yours truly.
Oh, Kurt, it's wonderful you're here, but, oh golly, oh dear, I did think, as you weren't in attendance at the read-through last week.
Unfortunately, I was otherwise engaged.
Oh, really? Well, I did think after last year. Well, what happened at the after-party?
I told you, Dolores, one was tired and emotional. I don't think you really understand the pressures of the leading role for 4 nights running. Wait one moment. Are you telling me there's no part for me this year?
Well deduced, Mr. Albright.
How can that be? Kurt Albright? To be cast aside? Oh, surely not.
If only his acting was this good in the pantomime.
But this year is different. Why, our marvellous eclectic ensemble of semi-professional, me, and amateur dramaticists, everyone else, is to perform at the Plaza. One could not miss that.
Yes. No. Yes. Oh, of course there's a part for you. There will always be a part for you, Kurt, dear. But well, I've sort of promised Bert he could be the lead.
Bert, Lady Edith Gardner?
Now then, who's wearing out my name, eh? Oh, it's you, Kurt. Come to find out what part you are then, I heard it was the back end of a cow. Still, every part is equally important. If we didn't have the back end of a cow, it'd fall over now, wouldn't it? I'll see you later, boss. Oh, and Jackson, I've been practicing those pirouettes like you said.
Oh, jolly good man.
Most amusing. Back end of a cow. As if. I mean, after all my years of... Wait a minute. Why aren't you looking me in the eye, Dolores? Oh, no. You cannot be serious. The cow? The cow?
I think Jackson's right. If only he could act like this.
The cow? The cow?
But Kurt, everyone loves the cow.
The
She
cow?
always steals the show.
Cow? Don't believe it. The cow. Daisy, the cow, and she's only in it for the first bit.
Well, maybe I could write you a few more lines.
It's a speaking part.
Excuse me, Dolores.
Oh, hello, Joe. Kurt, let me introduce Joe, our techno-wizzo. He's marvellous. How are all the jolly technical bits going, Joe?
Well, I'm just telling you now. I've only got one moo in sound effects, and I'm not looking for any more. If he wants more lines, he'll have to moo himself.
Never fear, old chap. I once did a workshop at RAR in animal noises. Moo moo, cock-a-doodle-doo, that sort of thing.
Did they include the back-end noises in that training, Kurt?
Bert, my man, the secret is improvisation. Not something I imagine you have much knowledge or experience of as a gardener. Well, I suppose the cow is jolly integral to the plot and is possibly the favourite character. Maybe for this year, I suppose one could...
It is, yes, but, well, now I come to think of it, one end is a speaking part, and actually, Evelyn can't do the back end as she's having trouble with her vertigo. But you'll still be in it. It's the taking part that counts, isn't it? The camaraderie, that we're all in this together.
What, like the war?
Actually, excuse me, Dolores, if Kurt wants to say some lines, I don't mind, really. I don't mind. I'd be honoured, actually.
Well, how's that going to work?
He'll just have to shout from the back end.
Oh, jolly good show, Evelyn. The way to learn one's craft is to shadow the best. I'll do my utmost to method act the performance for your education purposes.
Oh, I'll bring my shovel then, will I?
Oh, that's jolly sporting of you, Evelyn. Kurt, you'll be able to project. I'm absolutely positive. Remember Nessun Dorma?
He was miming.
But you'll still be able to dance.
As I am a professional at all times, I will endeavour to perform to the best of my ability, but I must say, Dolores, I'm slightly peeved at your casting on this occasion.
Oh dear, Jackson, he's dreadfully upset.
Another nail in this coffin of a performance.
Still be able to dance? Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Took it badly, did he? Well, I told you last year his dancing was starting to look a little wooden. Where is Bert? Now just look at that. Oh, bravo! Bravo! He could dance at the Bolshoi, never mind the Plaza.
I'm beginning to wish that none of us were dancing at the Plaza and we were dancing on our very own borrowed stage that's held together with nylons and drawing pins. It was much less stressful and there were far fewer divas.
Well, it is your grandmother's request that we play at this theatre, so she must have some faith in our abilities.
I'm not sure it's faith in our abilities, Jackson, but faith we won't ask for any money. Oh, OK, everyone, may I have your attention, please?
Golly gosh, what on earth?
Well, I do declare. Is that a cow?
Oh, Charles, do something.
Oh, yes, dear. What shall I do?
Maybe you could milk it, boyo.
Leave this to me. Excuse me, old thing, I think you may have the wrong place. This is private property and you need to move.
I think she thought you said you need to moo. Maybe she's here for an audition.
There's only room for one cow in this production.
Literally there is. But who is in there?
Hello, old beans. Got you there, didn't we?
What on earth was that? It was incomprehensible.
What was what? Oh, you mean Giles? I tell you, old sport, the rump on this heifer is tip-top. It's bally difficult to hear what Giles the old bean is saying. What was that, old boy? Quite right, he said. What a good show.
But Jeremy, Giles, why have you come as a cow?
Well, it's Jack and the Beanstalk, isn't it? Thought we'd bring the old girl out of retirement. She's a beauty, isn't she?
Abso-bally-lutely, Giles, old fruit. I quite agree.
Well, what did he say?
Oh, right. Yes, Dolores. He said, only the best for the Plaza.
Well, unfortunately for you, we already have a professional cow.
She looks mighty fine, though. She's as pretty as a peach.
Yes, looks like an Aberdeen Angus to me. Get a lovely cut of billet from that.
Jolly good milkers too.
Lady Edith, let me point out to you that Evelyn and I are sporting a Jersey cow, whose milk production is amongst the finest in this land. May I also point out neither are real cows?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Kurt old bean. Of course one knows it's not real. Now stop being so moody.
Dolores, I'm starting to feel as if no one is listening to me. I'm just not being heard.
Although you are part of a herd of cows, isn't it?
Of course, Kurt, I understand you're obviously a bit upset. But surely, as Giles and Jeremy have made such an effort, it would be a shame not to include their cow.
Well, she can't be called Daisy. We absolutely insist, don't we, Evelyn?
Well, actually, I don't really mind if she's called...
Evelyn!
Yes, sorry, Kurt, but we insist, Dolores.
Oh, Jackson. Another set of oofs to work with. This lot are really milking it.
Oh, holy cow, give me strength.
Oh, OK, everyone, may I have your attention, please? We've had a new directive from the Thorley Plaza.
They don't want any ridiculous dancing.
Oh, Lady Edith, you are a tease. No, now the directive is that we must use the resident organ as part of our production at least twice during the performance.
Capital! That's marvellous. I'm partial to a bit of organ music. You can't beat a jolly good old sing-along.
Oh, yes, but they can't let us have their organist, so we'll have to provide our own. Does anyone know an organist? Yes, Evelyn?
Hello, Dolores. What about Mr. Parks from the church?
Unfortunately, Mr. Parks passed away during a recital last week. Rachmaninoff prelude in C-sharp minor, you know.
Oh dear, how dreadfully sad. Well, he'd had a good innings.
Let's hope he went out on a high note, eh? Do you get it? 'Cause he's a music... No? Oh, OK.
What about Dave Foster? He's played pianoforte for us before.
I heard he'd swapped instruments. His wife persuaded him to change to a clarinet.
Really? I wonder why.
She said, at least he can't sing when he's playing the clarinet.
I've had a spiffing idea. Charles will do it.
Charles? Charles who?
Charles de Bush. You know, my spouse, hubster, better half. Well, not really.
What? Good heavens! But darling, one's never played an organ before.
Oh, come on, Charlie. Don't be a defeatist. You play triangle in the Didsbury Camerata and you stand next to the piano. It can't be that difficult.
No, seriously, darling, it is. There's hundreds of jolly knobs and pipes. One wouldn't know where to begin.
Oh, do stop grumbling, darling. That's just not cricket. Charles will do it. I'll make him practice.
Oh, marvellous. Now, that wasn't too difficult, was it? Now, I just want to check. Has everyone got a script?
Yes, I've got mine, but Dolores, a minor but important note. I have noticed that I've only got 35 lines this year, as opposed to the normal 80 or more.
Really? 'Cause I've got 136.
Well, I really think you ought to hand some of those over, Bert. After all, one has been the star of the show for the past 30 years.
Exactly. Has been being the point. Move over, darling.
What did you say there, Sissy? I'm not sure I care for your tone, young lady. Manners cost nothing.
Of course, Lady Edith. Which ones would you like?
But Lady Edith, then surely the script won't make sense.
It's not about making sense, young lady. It's about the fact that one has been performing for 30 years in these productions, and the audience expect me to be up there leading the plot.
But do they, Dolores? Maybe it's time Lady Edith was put out to grass with Daisy.
I say, Jackson, that's a little below the belt.
Oh, do you have a belt, Charles? I thought Rose would need it. After all, doesn't she wear the trousers?
Jackson, that's very rude. What on earth has got into you?
I think the stress become too much, Dolores. I can take over.
Oh, Kenneth, how many times? No.
Now, Dolores, as I was saying about professionalism and experience, I know this is only your 5th year producing. But believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not being condescending. I'm just thinking about far more important things. You wouldn't understand, dear.
I've only got 12 lines.
As do I.
Heavens to Betsy. I forgot to ask my maid to count them.
Come now, fellow thespians. It doesn't really matter how many lines you have. After all, it's the taking part that counts.
Oh, Kurt, you really are so revoltingly enthusiastic.
Well, really?
I'm not sure about that, Kurt. How will people notice you if you're just in the background, grinning and dancing, however beautiful your costume is?
Absolutely, Sissy. And your costume's not even beautiful.
Lady Edith, may I ask how many pages are in your large print script?
Well, I'm not sure what that's got to do with anything. But 96.
Well, I've only got 46. Maybe we do need to have a look at this. It's not seeming very equitable to me, Dolores.
I've got more pages than you. No, I'm sure Dolores knows what she's doing. As a star, I'm obviously going to have the longest script.
And the star you will be, Lady. Now, come on, everyone else. As I said before, it's the taking part that counts, not how many people notice you.
Oh, I'm sure everyone will notice you, Kurt. Well, the back of you anyway. I admire you, Kurt. It's a skilled man who can make an impression with his behind and no words. I can't wait to see your interpretation of Daisy's art.
Right. Let's get back to the rehearsal, everyone. We're digressing. I've also just found out that the producers would like Jack and the Beanstalk to be set on Broadway. And then they won't have to change the scenery from the last production. They've suggested Jack can climb up the Empire State Building instead of a beanstalk. I think that'll work, don't you? Oh, golly gosh, how exciting. Reduce, reuse, recycle, everyone.
And now, this message from our sponsor.
Spectacles, spectacles. Wherefore art thou spectacles? I'm looking for good opticians, but I can't seem to find one.
Are you looking for a good optician? Maybe you need contact lenses, even glasses. You need Leeming Opticians. We're easy to find. Just look for the signs.
I went to Leeming's. It was love at first sight, and I didn't even have my rose-tinted specs on. Flipping heck, they sound like a right crowd. Did it ever happen?
Oh, indeed it did, dear lady. But there were only one performance.
Oh dear, wasn't that atrocious?
Absolutely not. It were a triumph, particularly dancing. Well, I fear the dancing was in the end its triumph and its downfall.
Oh, sounds intriguing. Carry on, Mr Thorley.
I really think we should be carrying on with the tour. The tea and scones have all been consumed by your companions, and they seem to be getting a little restless.
Shall we take the bottle with us?
So, there we go. The plot thickens in this emotional roller coaster. Will Lady Edith cope with complicated dance steps, or will she just mount one of the cows? Does Charles have enough time to master the Wurlitzer, or will he have to hum it? Tempers are rising, and so is Bert's costume, as he bribes Mary to take it up 5 inches. Will Jackson manage to rally his cast? Join me next time on Carl's Spooks and Spectres, as Mr Thorley spills the previously unknown beans on the historical and mysterious goings-on in Thorley's Plaza.
Hello. Thank you for listening to our radio drama, Jack's Last Lullaby. We hope you enjoyed it, or even understood it. Please click the link to donate to Francis House, our chosen charity. And if we make enough money, we promise not to do another one.